One thing's clear, nobody on the ground knew what the hell was going on. There was no plan. There was no rules of engagement, thanks to Biden's secret deal with the Taliban. And one vet shared this really crazy scene that unfolded in Kabul just days before the pullout. Listen.
Nothing prepared us for the ground experience we were about to encounter. It was chaos, but we worked together to figure out the next best steps. Tens of thousands of people descended upon Abbey Gate. People were suffering from extreme malnutrition, dehydration, heat casualties, and infants were dying. Afghans were brutalized and tortured by the Taliban, flocked to us pleading for help. Some Afghans turned away from HKIA, tried to kill themselves on the razor wire in front of us that we used as a deterrent. They thought this was merciful compared to the Taliban torture that they faced.
Sergeant Tyler Vargas Andrews lived through those horrors and risked his life to defend our allies, and leaving his limbs back in Afghanistan.
We asked him for engagement authority and permission. We asked him if we could shoot. Our battalion commander said, and I quote, "I don't know," end quote. No one was held accountable for our safety. About 1730, Staff Sergeant Darren Hoover, friend and mentor, came to get me from the tower to go help find an Afghan interpreter in the crowd. Then a flash and a massive wave of pressure. I'm thrown 12 feet onto the ground, but instantly knew what had happened. I opened my eyes to Marines dead or unconscious lying around me. And my body was catastrophically wounded with 100 to 150 ball bearings.
Does that sound like a successful evacuation to you? Marines lost their lives, but Biden called that a success. Now Sergeant Vargas Andrews wants somebody to be held accountable.
The withdrawal was a catastrophe, in my opinion. And there was an inexcusable lack of accountability and negligence. The 11 Marines, 1 sailor, and 1 soldier that were murdered that day have not been answered for.
Our vets deserve better than this, and we owe it to them to find out who's to blame for this catastrophe. Up next.